Hey everyone, back again. Just wanted to do a really short little video here to follow up a little bit on my previous video where I was discussing the obstruction that we see happening. You know, we have Democrats who are not even showing up to the hearings for confirmations for President Trump's appointees. The overall environment, when you look at what's happening on the left-stream media, when you look at what's happening with these Soros and others who are funding these operations on the ground, Black Lives Matter, these Million Women Marches, and all these other things that are happening to obstruct. This is very anti-American. It's anti-democratic. It's not good for the country, not good for Republicans or Democrats. It's just pure obstructionism for the purpose of obstructionism. Now, this is going to end up very badly for the Democrats. It didn't work throughout the primary campaign. It didn't work during the presidential campaign, and it hasn't worked really since Trump has become president. He's moving forward. One thing we can honestly say, based on what we can see, is that Donald Trump is not intimidated by any of this. He's not backing down at all. In fact, the harder they push him, he pushes back even harder. And this guy's a fighter, no question about it. Because really, when you think about it from Donald Trump's position, he's got nothing to lose. He's a billionaire. He's got a great business. You know, he can walk away from that job anytime he wants, resign or whatever, and go back to what he was doing, and he'll be just fine. He doesn't need the money, and he doesn't need the friendship of these lefties. He doesn't need any of it. He's a man on a mission, and he's doing what he said he would do. And he's doing it in a way that I have never seen any president in my lifetime move so quickly and so aggressively to do exactly what he said. He understands, obviously, that on issues that have to go through the Congress, there will be compromise and negotiation. He may not get everything he wants, but to the degree that he can issue an executive order or use the power of the bully pulpit, he is doing that. But he's clearly showing that he's not intimidated, and he's willing to fight for everything that he's going for. He's not going to back down. And this is wonderful. But the issue that we have is that we have a lot of Republicans, you know, you can call them conservatives, Republicans, whatever. We also have two guys who are really in the Senate, which is important because you only have 50 senators, or 100 senators, two from each state. But you have Lindsey Graham and John McCain, and with the Senate pretty much a 50-50 almost, or 52-48 or something like that. It's so close that McCain and Graham will be able to have some impact. I don't know why people keep in South Carolina and Arizona continue to reelect these two goons. They're certainly not Republicans. They're not conservatives, and they are obstructionists just as much as Democrats are. I'm just really sick of these guys. Fortunately, Donald Trump doesn't take any of their crap. I love the way that he responds to both McCain and Graham. It's clear to these two, I'm sure at this point, they're not going to be able to bully this guy around. And remember, Donald Trump won pretty big in South Carolina. So, but Lindsey Graham, I believe, was just reelected, so he's got some time. When it comes closer to his reelection, I'm sure you'll see him kissing up to Donald Trump because he understands the numbers. But for the other Republicans in Congress and the Senate, they don't have the courage or the stones or the principles that Donald Trump has. And they are afraid of the media. They are afraid of the liberals. When they see these marches and all these various things, it does bend their barometer a bit because they don't have any stones whatsoever, and they've demonstrated that for most of them for as long as they've been in the Congress, which for many of them is decades. So they should be able to gain some courage by watching Donald Trump and seeing that when you actually show some courage and you actually do move forward with the agenda that you campaigned on, and you actually try to do the right thing, and you're not afraid to stand up and get in a fight, that good things can happen for you. It's the backing down, and things like that, which they've done in the past, which is the reason why they haven't been able to make any progress. Because when they get control, they don't do what they said they would do, and then in the next election, Republican voters don't show up because these guys aren't going to do the job anyway, and we end up losing control of one or both houses. So Donald Trump is showing the way forward, and the way forward is to stand on your convictions and your principles, and to move forward and be willing to charge that machine gun position. You got to go right for it, folks. Got to go where the shots are coming from. You got to have the balls to go and do the attack. And if you get gunned down, hopefully there's another guy behind you who's firing as well. So this is how it has to be done. This is how you charge a position. This is how you take control. This is how you win. Donald Trump understands that. So the obstructionism that we've been seeing, which is unprecedented in my lifetime, when I'm 54 years old, I've just never seen anything like it, even during the Reagan years. And keep in mind, Reagan had a Democratic Congress with a pretty healthy majority, especially in the House. So Ronald Reagan, certainly with if he would have had the Congress Trump has, I'm sure he would have been even more successful. But Trump is proving that you can win, and you can get things done if you're willing to have the courage to take the heat. You know, there's an old phrase that if you're taking lots of flack, you know you're over the target. And that's where Trump is right now. He's over the target. He's right on it, the bullseye, and he's taking lots of flack. So we just need to make sure that our members of Congress show the same amount of intestinal fortitude that Donald Trump is demonstrating, so that we actually move forward. Because I get the feeling that a lot of these guys are going to get very weak in the knees when it comes time to get things done that you actually have to use the Congress. Fortunately, if we see what Donald Trump is doing, he's taking care of the things he can do right now by executive order, knowing good and well that he has other issues that will have to go through the Congress. And he's going to be counting on these slimy Republicans who have no backbone. So we need to put a lot of pressure on them. The best way to get things done is doing what Trump is doing. You do it early. You hit them fast and you hit them hard. If you hit them with 10, 15, 20 things, rather than stretch it out, they have less time to devote to the individual complaints that they're going to have, and you just hit them with an avalanche of stuff. They just can't keep up with it. It happens so fast that they can't even keep up with fighting back on it. You just drop the whole 55-gallon drum on them. That's what you do. And that's exactly what Trump is doing. So the obstructionism is unprecedented. It's childish, and it's going to backfire. But in the meantime, what Mitch McConnell has to do is he has to do exactly what Harry Reid did, as I said in my previous video, the nuclear option. If they're not going to show up to hearings and delay the confirmations, if they're going to be obstructionist just for the point of being obstructionist, at that point, then the nuclear option, the filibuster rule, enact it and do it. Why play this game and have to get 60 votes when you can get a simple majority? You know, so the Republicans need to get a pair of balls and play hardball the way Donald Trump is doing, and the way that the Democrats do when they are in control of the Congress. You see, so this is what we need to do. So again, as I said in the previous video, very happy with this, with the Supreme Court pick. If there's any obstruction at all, these Democrats not showing up to hearings or just being obstructionist just to be that way, invoke the rule and ram it down their throat. This is exactly what we have to do. Let's never forget how they got Obamacare passed. They rammed it down our throat. Exactly what they did. And they even openly engaged in buying off 3 or 4 Democrats just to get the last couple votes they needed. They never invited Republicans in to offer their opinions or ideas on Obamacare. They were shut completely out. So when Obama and the Democrats had complete control, they rammed everything down our throat. And now the roles are reversed. And this is why the Republicans shouldn't be weak in the knees about doing that. They should follow Donald Trump's lead, President Trump, and they should be very aggressive and move forward and not get bogged down with the politics and the obstructionism. Just ram it down their throat. That's what we need to do. And let the chips fall where they may. I think ultimately it's a winning position. And I think that will be proven in the midterms and then again in 4 years. And of course, we always have to look out for Soros and the other things, because remember, Soros doesn't just operate in the U.S. I'm watching very carefully right now because I expect that he is going to pull off some sort of a false flag or something that he's going to do in Syria or Ukraine or both, to try to muddy up the water there for improving our relationship with the Russians and for going after ISIS in these areas. Remember, Soros wants Ukraine and Syria destroyed. He wants a complete state of chaos. He wants Assad gone. He wants to see the eastern Ukrainians driven into the dirt. They're doing it right now. So it's a big field with a lot of different things going on. The Congress just needs to stay focused. They need to stay in step with President Trump, and they need to keep moving forward, and they need to watch out for the stuff on the peripheral, which is going to be coming. And it's going to be very tricky, but we just need to keep moving forward and giving our full support. And when the members of Congress need a swift kick in the ass, we need to give it to them. That's how we win. All right? Y'all have a good day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.